Back in October of 2022, we decided to take a risk and buy some farmland with the goal of building a home. And after a few years of hard work, we actually made it happen. But none of this would have been possible without a tractor. As soon as the farmer took down the crops, I knew I had to get one and get to work. And when it came to picking a tractor, I knew that it had to be an old Ford. I actually grew up around them as a kid. I knew exactly what I wanted, and I ended up finding it on Facebook Marketplace, a 1953 Ford Jubilee. I used the Ford Jubilee to brush hog the corn stalks. Then I disked the land. And then we smoothed everything out with a York rake, all in an effort to get it ready for grass seed. I ended up picking up an old McCormick International Harvester hay wagon to help around the property. We planted over 80 trees and used this tractor for just about every project out there. I absolutely love this tractor, except for one thing: the color. I couldn't stand that it had been painted wrong by the previous owner, so I decided I was going to do a full paint restoration. I started by tearing the tractor down and stripping off all of the body panels. Then I got to work cleaning everything. At the time, we didn't even have electricity or water out here yet, so I brought out 35 gallons of water, a generator, and a pressure washer. And of course, one project turned into two, because we decided to restore the hay wagon at the same time. We sanded the deck down, sealed it up, put new tires on it, and built some custom bench seats. And the cool thing is, those benches can either face each other or flip down into a half picnic table so people can face out, which makes it perfect for parades. I'll show the full build of the hay wagon at the end of the video, but for now, let's get into restoring the tractor. With everything cleaned up, it was time to prime the chassis and get rid of the hideous black paint. After letting the primer fully cure, it's finally time to lay down that classic red on the belly. I'm using Van Sickle Ford Vermilion Red and Ford Medium Gray, finished with an acrylic hardener for durability. I checked out the paint at Tractor Supply, however, the colors weren't the original Ford shades, so I actually sourced the correct ones from Quality Farm Supply. Now it's time to start on the body panels. I'll begin by sanding everything down, but I'm not going to do any body work. I actually like leaving the dents in because it shows the character of the 73-year-old tractor. It's now time to start laying the primer. And for the moment that you guys have all been waiting for, let's see how the Ford Medium Gray looks. I used a Harbor Freight pneumatic paint gun and it actually laid the paint down really nicely. It took some patience, but I actually hand painted the Ford script. I wanted to bring back that original detail. I ended up adding a new emblem and new LED headlights. Now it's time to put it all back together. Let me know what you think in the comments. This project really meant a lot to me. What started as a simple restoration turned into something more. Because the truth is, I didn't just restore this tractor. I restored it for a reason. I actually used it to propose to my girlfriend. We are now happily married and living in a house that we built on this land. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to have you around for the next one. Thanks for watching.